Then your life. Okay, we're starting. Summer in Sunset Bird was a special time of year. Your usually sleepy town began to bustle. It was a popular tourist destination with people coming from all over to enjoy the beach, the weather, and the relaxation that came with both. The smell of the ocean, crisp and salty, hung in the air, bringing 3 whole months of schoolless vacation with it. During the summer, your moms didn't like you to wander too far outside of your neighborhood, so you knew the area pretty well. That included the people. Families came and went from the Sunset Bird, but they mostly stayed and did what your mom called putting down roots. They built businesses, they got to know each other, and they definitely said hello to the nice young kid who waved when passing their stores. Going for a walk around town mostly meant that the familiar, friendly residents waved or asked how your family was, or most often just said hello. You didn't really get why they always had to say hi. They saw you every day, but you nodded back at them anyway. You ended up saying hi to a lot of different people, since most of the tourists that came and went every summer were the same ones. You were too anxious to say hi back most of the other residents that greeted you, but they all knew you well enough to expect that. I'd probably go with the first choice, just because usually, I'm very super shy when it comes to stuff. But I feel like if someone says hi to you, you kind of have to say it back. But to me, I feel like greetings are so useless in conversations with people you really know. I remember one time my mom said hi to me and my brother, and we both just didn't respond. And she was like, why won't you say hi back? And I literally responded, hi is such a useless conversation, and my brother agreed with me. But yeah, I guess I would go with the first option. Get why they had to say hi. They saw you every day, but you're not back at them anyway. It was a polite thing to do after all, and your mom had taught you to always be respectful. But today, there was a man sitting on the curb outside your house. He was sitting with his head in his hands, his whole body slumped over, and you wondered if he was even a real person, or a statue that had magically sprung up from the ground overnight. Whoever, or whatever he was, you had never seen him before. One thing about knowing everyone in Sunset Bird was that people who you didn't recognize really, really stood out. It was rare for tourists to venture into the residential district, as your mom's called. Do we have 2 moms in this? Or is that a grammar issue? I feel like we got 2 moms in it, because they're pretty, yeah. So, for you, not knowing who Total Stranger was set off a lot of red flags. Your moms had a talk with you and your big sister Lizzie about this kind of situation before. You hadn't exactly been listening at the time. You think it could be okay to talk to new people. They mentioned that some people aren't good to talk to, but other types of people can help you even if you don't know them. Remember that it's okay to run away if you feel uncomfortable. You don't have to worry about being polite then. Wow, that last part is such a good message. See, my thought process here is that, so if I just saw a random person that I didn't know, I'd probably walk away. But if he was in front of my house, I feel like I'd have to talk to him, because it's hey, I live there. But then it's also I think they said, the main character here, I think she said that she knows the area really well, so she could run away and probably be fine. Remember, that's okay to run away if you feel uncomfortable. You don't have to worry about being polite then. You weren't sure about this man yet. Still, you felt a bit scared knowing that he was blocking the way to your front door, but you were pretty interested. You wanted to know more about what's going on. Whether he was nice or not, you didn't want to be bothered. I'll go with the first one. Still, you felt a bit scared knowing that he was blocking the way to your front door. You slowed down your mind, racing for ideas on how to get past him unseen, but it was too late to escape. There was a split second before your eyes met, and you look in a shaky breath, your eyes darting to the sky, pretending to stare at a bird who was hovering nearby. Hey, yeah, it's question marks. His voice startled you, and it made you jump. But still, you didn't look at him. The bird landed on top of a nearby gatepost, and its black feathers ruffled against the gentle breeze. Trying to keep your eyes on it was tough, especially when the man stood up and started to make his way toward you. Not wanting to seem too approachable, you folded your arms and stared. So unsure about him, but willing to be friendly, you offered the stranger a smile. Your whole body was frozen in place as he approached. How would I react to that? If a man approached me as a young child, I was definitely really shy as a child. There was just like one point where I was very social, and then something where I could not speak to people, and I don't know what that was. But let's see. Your whole body was frozen as he approached. Oh, there's some voice acting there, okay. They voice acted but they couldn't do you live around here? What's your name? I guess this guy's a surfer dude. He looks cool. You looked at the man up and down, taking his tan skin and relaxed appearance. At least his clothes were relaxed, the way he was acting wasn't. He had sharks on his shorts and a stingray tattoo, and you wondered if he was obsessed with the ocean or something. While you made your assessment, he looked at you expectantly, waiting for an answer to his question. Yeah, I live here. I live right here. My name is... You continue to say nothing. How would I would, every time it's the middle option, I'm just like, no, it's either between the first or the third option. Let's see. I'd probably go with the first one. Usually I probably wouldn't respond, but it's like, I gotta get to my house. Yeah, I live here. That's great. He looked happy to hear it, giving you a broad smile. Ooh, money, 20 bucks. He reached into his pocket and pulled out a clean $20 bill. It crinkled in his hand as he held it to you. Even more confused before you looked back at him. Could you do me a favor? Nothing bad, sorry, I should've... Let me start over. He caught his throat and stood up straighter. From where you were standing, it just made him look creepier. I mean, this man is offering, apparently a child, $20 to do him a favor. And we have no idea who he is. Oh, see, there it is. I have a son. His name is Cove, who's about your age. Is he paying me to hang out with this kid? Oh, that seemed like a strange name for an actual living person. I thought that the first time I saw it. You shoot on the inside of his cheek. This guy was definitely obsessed with water. He thought that was pretty cool. Yeah, I'd probably go with the first one. But definitely the kinds of names someone like this guy would give to their kid. We moved in across the street, see? He gestured toward the house that had been empty for a year, his watch catching the late afternoon sunlight and reflecting off the walls. So was his thought process like, I'm gonna sit here, and eventually a little kid will show up so I can pay them to hang out with my kid? Like, was that his... I'm really confused what he was getting at. Or was he waiting to meet his neighbor? Like, I feel like I'd just be like, oh, they're not home, come back later? Like, the gigantic for sale sign was finally gone. Did I miss that? Actually, hold on. He just did... No, I read that. You must be Z-Storm, right? I met your moms earlier and they told me you were 8, just like him, so... I see what happened. He shook the $20 bill to bring it back to your attention, a hopeful smile tilting... Oh my god, I can't... He shook the $20 bill to bring it back to your attention, a hopeful smile tilting his lips at the corners. Can you try to be friends with the boy? Why are you paying me? Just ask me, hey, hang out with my kid for a day and see if you'll be friends. Just give it a chance and you can keep this. He's a good kid. You'll like him. Don't pay someone to hang out with your kid. If he finds out, he's gonna be like, did you not like me? Like, there's gonna be some sort of issue there. Do you not see the problem there, dude?
Do you mind?
But you've got to keep it a secret, too, okay? It wouldn't be friendly to say his dad sent you. I don't know why, though. This guy gives me Todd Habercorn vibes. Like, I met him the other day at, like, Dragon Con. He was a really cool dude, got his autograph, but, like, definitely giving me some Todd Habercorn vibes. You eyed them in. You kind of felt sorry for Cove. Did other kids really get their parents to pay for friendships? First time I'm actually thinking about picking the middle one. You kind of felt sorry for Cove. Yeah, let's just go with that one. You kind of felt sorry for Cove. This definitely wasn't the normal way kids made friends. You knew that. What do you say? Want to make a deal? You took the bill. You didn't want the money. You ran away. I just thought about the last option. How funny that is in context. I think as a child, I would I don't know what I would do, honestly. Because, like, I mean, money's money. Did I really have that thought process as a kid? Would I have been like, hey, this is morally wrong. Let's not do this? Or would I pocket the cash anyways? Because I feel like now, I would think about it for a good second. But in the end, depending on the situation, probably take the money. Because, like, whatever. Definitely not run away. I'm gonna go with you took the bill, even though I probably shouldn't. You carefully plucked the bill from his outstretched hand, grinning at the thoughts of what you could do with that much cash. All the sweets you could ever want, you could buy a ticket for the newest movie at the cinema. There was a cute stuffed animal you had seen in a store in town. It cost a few dollars to set up a library card with this. You could pay for yourself instead of having your mom do it. You weren't even sure yet. I'd probably go with the stuffed animal as a kid. Let's see. It was gonna be able to go home with you. And that was just a start, you thought. The sky was the limit with that kind of money. Oh my god, yeah, like as a kid, like I remember even thinking like $1 was a lot of money, let alone $20 bill. But now that to me that's like, okay, so it's nothing. I mean it's something actually, but it's not that much as you thought when you were a kid. Simon smiled at you, his eyes crinkling at the sides as he did. Great, that's great. I'll bring him by tomorrow. I wanted to meet and greet with the neighbors today, but, well, I don't know where he's gone off to. He laughed when he said that, but with the way his face looked, you thought he actually wanted to cry. If you see him, can you tell him to come on home? He's got a pink cast and glasses. You can't miss it. And was that the picture at the beginning? Can I keep this either way? Sure thing. I can try. Okay. I mean, I probably wouldn't even ask the question because I'd be like, yo, you gave it to me. You can't just ask for it back. I mean, he asked if I see him, right? You can't. If you see him, yeah. So I'll be like, yeah, sure thing. This definitely wasn't the normal way kids made friends, you knew that, but you were still going to help. The man smiled and reached out to pat you on the head, paused before doing so, then pulled his hand away instead. Your mom's always... well... Your mom's already checking around for me. Such a thoughtful group you are. I better go look too. Can't put everyone else to work while I keep sitting here. I thought he might come back in. That's not important. I have to go. Thanks again, Z. So much. He jogged off down the street without another word. You decided to check the hills behind your house. Oh, we're actually gonna look for this kid? I thought it'd be like, if you happen to see him, step 1, first sight. Oh, we're gonna get our childhood best friend. The chirping of crickets in the tall grass greeted you, quiet and familiar. From the top of the hill, you could see the ocean. As you walked, you listened to the crash of the waves on the shore, and seagulls squawking as they settled down for the night. You've always loved the ocean. It was so much fun. You loved to hear stories about the sea, about the merfolk and sea serpent. You imagined living far beneath the waves. You didn't enjoy the beach at all that much, especially the sand, which got absolutely everywhere. Okay, definitely not the last option. I guess I'll go with the first one. Sometimes Lizzie would join you, the two of you splashing each other in the waves. Those were the best days. You took in a deep breath. You wanted to try and relax and couldn't. You weren't sure what, but something told you that you weren't alone, so you glanced around. There was a boy sitting at the top of the hill, almost completely hidden within the long grass, and white flowers surround him. Wow. He just looks so, like, delicate and precious, and I just want to protect him. His head was buried in his knees, staring ahead by himself. For whatever reason, probably just that he wasn't paying attention, he hadn't noticed you yet. You watched him a minute longer, feeling a little bit like you found a deer in the wild. Though deer didn't have green hair, wavy eyebrows. I guess that is kind of huge glasses, pink mustache, browns. I'd probably go with the green hair. The green hair is interesting. But this new boy did. You watched it as it fluttered softly around his face in the breeze. After a few more seconds, you took a step forward, then another. Then he glanced your way. His aquamarine eyes reflected the light of the moon. You stopped raising a hand to acknowledge him and show you weren't scary.